What do you think people will say about the bat?
They might be really scared. They'll think this is a real bat. They will.
Does it look like it's coming out of its bat cave? Very, very scary.
Yeah, it looks like it was in there and then it's coming out of there. Whee!
Today we're going to try the R&Gracing products based in the UK tail tidy kit on the CB500X. This is kind of a cosmetic alteration to the motorcycle. It's not really required as part of the adventure conversion. However, frequently on these adventure motorcycles, these long tail pieces will get folded up and caught under the rear wheel and fold up the license plate up underneath there. But on this particular design, the Honda, it's got strong structural tubing right down through this tailpiece, so I doubt it would pose any problem over the length of the motorcycle, even if driven a lot off-road. Maybe one other advantage might be a little easier to remove the rear wheel in the field and get it past this point. It'll look more adventuresome, I think. So here it is, the tail tidy kit installed on the CB500X. Oh, I got a few more to go in here. Highlights of the project are the instructions are a little vague and hard to read and understand. So pop the seat, pop the plate off, pop all this plastic off of the rear end, take your tail light lens and your blinkers out of the original tail piece, reinstall them into the tail tidy piece, and then put everything back together. So there's the short answer of how to do this project. Now, if you want to watch all the gory detail on the rest of the video here, hopefully it'll save you a little time stumbling around trying to figure out all the bits and pieces of how this tail piece comes apart and goes together. Pretty easy, fun project, but a lot going on in this tail piece. A lot of interesting engineering to make this all work. The critical thing is the cutting of the tube. Do that exactly per the instructions. Cut the tube just below the flanges, which you're going to use to bolt this license plate holder to. So let's try the tail tidy kit installed on the Honda CB500X Adventure. In here. Good. Here, you hold. I got it. Underneath the seat here is the location of your handy-dandy stock CB500 field repair kit. It's got things in here I don't even understand what for. We've got an Allen wrench, a fuse puller, a piece of foam, and a wire hoop. I think this is for helmets. I'll have to actually read the owner's manual and see what this is all about. Fortunately, Rally Raid provides a few more important things. Primarily these two spanners, inexpensive spanners, get you all the tools you need to get the wheels on and off the motorcycle. Add some tire irons to this and you got everything you need to change a tire in the field, and a bicycle pump. I've already came in here and removed the hand grab rails in anticipation of the Rally Raid tailpiece, which will be bolted back onto here. Okay, there's a bunch of a little bit less than clear instructions in the manual here. I'm basically going to just wing it, open this thing up, take all this apart, and start reassembling using the new part. But the main thing is you're going to have to cut the metal tubing off the tail piece. Start removing the tail piece hardware. While Pete enjoys his Minions preview. Remove the old license plate and license plate holder. Underneath the license plate bracket is the bolt that holds the tail piece on. The nut on this is welded. And this is part of the bit that's going to get cut off. Remove the stock turn signals, and we're going to reuse these turn signals, in this case, You can add whatever turn signals you want to this kit, but I'm going to stick with the stock ones. It's a nice rubber mount, like a giant grommet that can just come out with the tail light. I've got to find where to disconnect the wires without snipping them. It's probably going to be right up in here. These little plastic pieces carefully come unsnapped out of here once you loosen everything up. We'll just let that hang. That holds your seat lock-unlock mechanism. Carefully pull this plastic piece out from over here. This little deck piece just slides right out of there. Kind of all snaps together. Interesting lightweight construction. The tail lamp bulb just snaps out, 90-degree fitting. Okay, and here we can see where the tail piece comes apart. Right here. So let's take these two out of here. Put all the loose hardware back where you found it for ease of reassembly. Okay, now we can get to the hardware for the tail light itself. We're going to reuse this tail light. Take these out, we should be able to get the tail light out. And the tail light just pulls right out of there. Pull this wiring harness clamp right out of there, Phillips head. Loosen up this post, turn signal post. So that all comes apart. Push the grommet through there. Loosen these wire clamp holders here. Okay, under here is your color-coded connectors. And to get these apart, you pull this tab out and pull it apart. And clicks into shape out with your fingernail. Pull that guy out, and then you take it apart. Okay, those are all apart. Now we should be able to take all this out. There it is. Are you hungry, Pete? It's too bad Mom's not here. Now what are you going to do? What are any of us going to do without Mom here? Now here we are down to the frame of the tailpiece. There's a lot going on in this tailpiece. Look, I think we're going to have to chop this right about here. We're going to reuse these tabs. We better actually read the instructions for this portion of the operation. But this is why I think it would never give you a problem. That is so darn strong. You'd really have to whack that thing to bend it. Yep, after carefully reviewing the instructions, we cut this off right about here. We save these tabs. This is what the new license plate holder is going to attach to. So right about here, we're going to hacksaw that off. Actually goes pretty easy with a hacksaw. Of course, a power tool would be easier. Okay, there it is. Get in here with a file and clean that up. And when you're done trimming it out, you can, they got their own R&G paint pen, custom paint to cover that black back up so she don't rust out. Now that's pretty clever. Actually a pretty darn straight cut, which is unusual for me in a hacksaw. It's just not a proper bike project until you've cut something out. Do that a little bit with a rat tail. Scrape them all up in there. Okay, I get it after spilling. It's like a fingernail polish thingy. Yeah, cool, man. Look at that. I'm gonna put some of this on my toenails and my fingernails. Not very good at that. Okay, find this hardware in your kit and your new license plate holder, and it's going to install right here like that with the spacers behind it to make up for this difference. Okay, these tabs may require some very careful adjustment, bending to get this to fit. Just a trial fitting for now. We'll sure and give this some blue Loctite for the final fit. Okay, let's start putting all the electrical components back on our new tail tidy kit here, tail piece. I'm sure this is going to have to go on first, and then this will bolt on afterwards. Okay, feed the stock tail light into the new piece. Put the rubber grommet. We gotta go. We got it so the tail lights go in the correct direction. Time for my favorite. Good. Give these a little tightening up here. Some more grommets you're going to need to retrieve from the original tail piece. Like that. Same on the other side. The metal grommets go on the outside. Move the hardware that you saved from the tail light. Let's plug it in. Well, okay. First, we got to get the wires for the tail light out of the way. Okay, a little struggle getting these lined up. Finally got them in there. Tail light lens. Included in the kit is this trick little R&G license plate illuminator. Pretty cool. Time to fit the new tail tidy piece on here. Let's see, that pin's got to fit into there. And then these pieces got to fit in the order as before. Okay.
12, 13, 15, 16, 17.
String? Okay.
And 18.
All right. Okay, now fit your metal license plate holder on. All right. Now let's see how well all this fits together. Start plugging your wiring back together, or your lights back in. Tail light. Reroute your wiring back as it was originally and put your wiring ties back together. Feed your trick little new R&G license plate illuminator through there. Okay, I would say that now is the best time to bolt up your trick little R&G license plate illuminator. Tighten that up, and then we'll just make room for the nuts here. They don't have to necessarily bolt through that. They're going to bolt to this thing, and this is going to be bolted firmly to that. It's just too hard to work through all this to get those bolts on behind them, or those nuts on behind there. Clean these holes up a little, make room for the light. Okay, hit the button again. Here, that's all of those. Okay, off. Good. Isn't that cool?
Ooh, neat. Oh.
Big difference.
special container. Oh, this is Eddie. Let's paint the toenails, Eddie.
It's in the show.
Ready?
Yeah.
Just you want to be advised.
As long as they leave after a while. So they're much younger.
Tiny Perkins.
Okay, stock setup looks like the plate fits right there. It would be nicer if it tucked up real tight up against that light like that, but that would require an additional little plate or bracket. Cut the seal in half. Fit it alongside the bottom plate. This will be the seal necessary to keep the water and debris out of the tail kit. Put a dab of super glue right in this part of the rubber seal to hold it in place. Okay, press this up into position and then spread these out over it. Get this to try and seal up. And then you're going to insert a screw right there to secure it. There's no real threads on the inside of that. And it's buttoned up tight. And don't forget to super glue on the cover to your license plate light cover. Put the plate back on. Throw the seat on. Call it macaroni. Don't forget your little upholstery buttons in here. And the only complaint about the project may be this, the fit and finish on this piece here. But it'll be fine. Ta-da! Well, what do we got? It's a tidy tail. It's a bobtail. A bobtail sled.